All right, hello, and welcome into my Magic the Gathering Arena Limited channel. My name's Jesse. I am starting this to try to track my own limited progress, kind of help people get better at playing draft. It's the best way to play Magic, in my opinion. It's got all the variation of Commander. You can still do some crazy stuff, build some crazy decks, but also the kind of the competitive chops of more of your standard constructed play. So I'm excited to get started. Got the Edge of Eternities on deck today. We'll fire up a draft here, and I guess while it queues up, it's the first time I've ever done this. Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. I think it. I've been told it helps, so we'll see. But all right, table's ready. Can't wait to get started with this. I hear green blue is kind of the way to do it in this year format. That definitely plays to what I normally like to do. So that would be more than happy to do that. But I'll take any busted rare I can get. And instead, I've opened Eternity Elevator, which is, in my opinion, not playable. It's just 5 mana to get 3 colorless. You're never ever going to be using that 20 plus. If you really need a tap outlet, maybe it's fine. But we're going to be looking elsewhere. For this specific one, I'm looking at a couple of different options. Cerebral Download is pretty good in the artifact deck. That's something I'm interested in. I'm not sure how highly we want to pick that. I think Admiral Color Zealot is a powerful card in general. I don't know if it's the right one for here. I'm kind of eyeing up this Plasma Bolt also. It's just cheap for removal, which is I'm always in business for. I think maybe we go with the Plasma. You know what? I'm going to go with Cerebral Download. I think this is a cool card. If this gets to the late game, you're just going to be winning if you do this. And it also works with lander tokens, etc. Okay, next up we have, I actually quite like this. Harmonious Grove Strider is a card I've been very impressed with. The Ward 2 is very relevant, and if you're playing a type of deck that wants to get to the late game, this just gets big and hard to deal with without hard removal. So that's kind of the one I'm eyeing up. We've got our second Momenon, perhaps, that we've seen. So someone's going to be in blue-red to our left. We've got a Virus Beetle, which I think is reasonable. Cryogen Relic, I like. I think it's a little early to be picking that. Our rare is Memorial Vault, sack an artifact, exile top X your library, or X 1+ mana value. It's kind of an awkward card because you don't really want to be exiling something big because you're just going to waste a bunch of cards. So I don't think it quite is what we're looking for here. I think trying to aim towards that blue-green ramp deck sounds pretty good to me, though. But we've got an interesting pack here as well. We've got a couple of interesting options. The Dauntless Scrapbot kind of goes in everything. ETB, make a lander token, exile graveyard. I think that's just a good effect in general. Station Monitor is quite good in the blue-white double spell deck, and that's something that we're definitely in for. That those drones also work very well with the Cerebral Download. Refill your hand. We also have a Grav Kill, which is just very good removal. So I'm not sure exactly what the right call is. I'm not really interested in any of the blue or green. We're seeing a lot of black though. Oh, this is tricky. This is very tricky. I think my gut says go with the Grav Kill because we're doing kind of a bigger mana deck here. So maybe we can do some sort of Sultai soup thing. I'm totally down for that. And right on schedule, we've got this Galactic Wayfarer. This is exactly what we're kind of looking for. We'll want some more 2-mana plays, something earlier in the curve, but definitely something ETB, make a lander. That's going to go well with our Cerebral Download because it's an artifact. Goes well with our Grove Strider because it helps ramp us and help us splash whatever card we want to splash for. I will note that splashing I think is pretty bad in this set in general if you're not in green, so be warned of that. But here we have a Sammy's Curiosity. This is more of exactly what we want. ETB, or 1 mana, gain 2 life, make a lander. I just love these effects. They fix your mana. They help keep you alive to the late game. I just think it's a really strong effect. We got another Scrapbot. Seeing a couple of these pick 4 and pick 5 now makes me maybe hope that we could get something back, just because it kind of looks, typically when you see a colorless 3 mana 3/1, you don't think very highly of it, but I think it could be good. So Okay, what else we have here? We have our first of the bonus sheet lands, the Crystal Quarry. I don't think that's particularly playable, but it's kind of fun. Cool art, too. What do we want? I think here I'm looking at two items, the Intrepid Tenderfoot as just a 2-mana play, or the Survey Mechan. That, if we're playing a long game, this is a totally reasonable active ability. I mean, it's a lot of mana, but I think we take it. We still have to get a lot of lower plays, so that's definitely something I'm wary of. But we have unfortunately got a really nice top end card here that I don't really want to pass. The Mouth of the Storm just looks really impressive. It's a 7-mana 6/6, but ETB, all of your opponent's creatures get -3/-0. I think the right call, quote unquote, is to just to take the Wayfarer though and keep going lower curve. Okay, so here a couple of different options. I think the Kill Ship is totally fine as a kind of a top end curve filler. If we end up with more spacecraft, I think Germinating Worm is good. It enters, gain 2 life, and then you can do something with it. So I'm sort of interested in that. Our curve is so high. Maybe I think I go Kill Ship before the worm though. All right, and here I can't. Oh my god, a Plasma Bolt wheeling. That's crazy. Well, in that case, I think I'm just gonna spec on the Plasma Bolt and take that because it's definitely the best card in this pack. Often when you're late in these packs, you want to see what's coming around that is surprising to you. I think Melded Moxite is also just perfectly good and more of an artifact shell. We're not seeing a lot of blue, notably, so that's something to keep in mind. Tenderfoot is fine as a low curve. Hulk Harbor is fine if we are more black. And the counterspell is fine too. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here, and we just cannot stop opening completely meaningless rares. But that's okay, because I think the Larval Scoutlander is quite good. It has a Harrow effect, so when it enters, you may sacrifice a land or a lander. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basics, put them on the battlefield, tap and shuffle. That's just an awesome effect. We're making a lot of landers already, so this is a really great way for us to keep ramping. I do like the Mechan Assembler in more of a blue artifact deck. I don't know how much we're going to be doing that. We do make a lot of landers. Also passing a Gene Pollinator, which is a bummer, but I think this is pretty good for now. Let's get into a different view mode here. Okay, next up, I actually quite like the Wormwall Sweeper, but I'm starting to wonder if we shouldn't be in red. We've got a Gravkill here. That's really all we have in black. All we have in blue is Cerebral Download, which I think we can just pretty easily cut. And maybe we can angle more towards a Gruul world and take our first real removal spell here, or I suppose bigger removal spell with Bombard. Maybe the Kill Ship as well, I suppose. But I'm still sort of in the mood for maybe splashing for black with a little bit of Junding. But I just think picking removal in this set is very good. So I like taking it here and angling more towards Gruul. And now we have another interesting choice. Servandum is just gross. It's an extremely good card, but I haven't seen anything to really make me think we should be in white or black. Remnant Elemental, not Rotisserie Elemental. It's a different rare from Eldraine, Wilds of Eldraine, I think. Landfall is just a 0-1 reach to keep us alive, but I think I like Gene Pollinator better. It helps fix our mana. It's early play, or it's another early play. Works really well with lander tokens because it's an untapped permanent. You can actually untap, or you can tap your own lands to sort of mana fix. So I like that a bit here. All right, what else do we have? I love these effects in general. If you remember Duskmourn, which is one of my favorite draft sets, Most Valuable Slayer ended up just being a really nice curve topper in those types of decks. I don't know if this is a deck that necessarily wants this more aggro effect, but I think it's just kind of difficult to deal with in general. So I think this is totally reasonable here. Again, we're going to be looking for more cheap plays like our old friend Gene Pollinator, but Cut Propulsion is also quite good. It's a good removal spell. Oh, it's a tricky one. I don't know which is better, actually. I think it's Cut Propulsion propulsion just to keep getting our removal suite looking good. But maybe I'll miss out on the gene pollinator. I'm not sure what's exactly correct here, but I think I like taking that. Oh, and it doesn't even matter. We got a gene pollinator here. Did not punish at all. Never didn't have it. So that's perfectly good. Still looking to fill out that early curve. Just I don't know what's better, a third gene pollinator or a third galactic wayfarer. We don't really have a lot of 3-drops. Maybe the first turbo drone is better, but I think just a third wayfarer is better. Honestly, these are I just think they're really good cards. But maybe 3 is too many. We'll see. Okay, close encounter, just another good removal spell. So our removal game is definitely very solid. We could use some more top end threats and some more 2-mana plays, but otherwise we're doing okay. We just got every possible gene pollinator. Let's see, maybe a Chrome Companion just for a 2-mana play. I don't think I mind that. We'll go Gene Pollinator. It's just better. Wormwall Sweeper is nice just as a 2-mana play. Grab Blade, Heavies, Lens Control, and Artifact. It's kind of mopey, but we could play it if we really need to. 2 more tap creatures. I don't think that's really the thing we're doing. Shattered Wings, maybe playable. Tenderfoot, fine. Perfectly reasonable. Okay. And we opened a Weft Walking. I think this is kind of an awesome card, honestly. You give away the ability for your opponent to cast their next spell for free next turn, but you get to draw 7 cards, and that effect is just so powerful in general. So I don't know that it's the pick here. I think here, tricky. I think we just go with the 2-drop. We could maybe go with the Red Tiger Mechan. I think it's totally playable, but what do we need more? I think we maybe want. That feels so mopey though. Yeah, I'll go with Close Encounter. More removal spells. I think that's fine. Okay. Here it may seem kind of strange, but I think the best pick is Nebula Dragon. We really need some top-end threats to push us through to the finish line, and I think Nebula Dragon is something that can help us do that. Hemosymbic Might, I'm not hugely impressed with. Maybe it's the right pick. I mean, we don't really need more 1-drops, though, so I think we go Nebula Dragon and see if we can't get some other big boomers going here. Okay. I do quite like Eumidian Terrabotanist. My pre-release, I had 2 of these in that deck 3-0'd, and I think that was a big reason why, just kind of keeping me alive. So I think I would like to shore up my 2-drop slot a little bit more. Drix Fake Maker seems good. Germinating Worm, maybe on the wheel. One of those 2 would be nice, but I think that's quite good. It looks like white maybe is the world he should have been in, but no such luck for us. Okay, we've got another Survey Mechan at 4 mana or another Terrabotanist. With how much removal we have and 1 mana plays with Gene, I kind of think more 2-drops is good. This is a really tricky one. Survey Mechan I do think is potentially quite good. We'll go here. Alright, wow, we just have every single removal spell at our disposal. Scavenger Grounds, kind of interesting. We're not going to be doing much with the graveyard, so we could maybe hose people on that. Meltstrider's Resolve is quite good again. I maybe have too much removal, but I kind of think that's fine. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, it's either an Edge Rover or a Fungal Colossus. We're going to be 3 colors, but that's it. So this is at best going to cost 4 mana. 4 mana 5/5 doesn't really do it for me. I'll just go with the Edge Rover. See if we can keep getting some bigger hits. Thawbringer is fine as a beatdown threat. Yeah, we kind of missed out on some of the big bangers, or play Pangolin. We'll have a lot of artifacts entering with those lander tokens. Jeez. Diplomatic relations. Wheeling is crazy, honestly. Maybe we're just a Gruul Beats deck with a lot of good removal. That kind of feels good to me. I don't know if Hemosymbic Might is the move, but we've got it. Worm, totally playable. Moxite, probably not. All right, so we've got a lot of cuts to make, but I think there should be some easy ones that we can get rid of. But I think we found kind of the right spot to be. Maybe we don't need to play Grav Kill. Honestly, I mean, it seems like splashing is going to be basically trivial in this deck, so I don't honestly know that Grav Kill is even a bad play. So, all right, we've got 34 cards. We've got to cut 10. That shouldn't be a problem. I think we can do this. Okay, so the big thing that I like to do when I am thinking about what my get out of here, I want all these lands out. The big thing I like to do when looking at my deck and trying to determine what's getting cut is try to look at the items where we have redundancy, or and also trying to just talk about what does the deck fundamentally want to do. If you look at our curve, this deck wants to get on board turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, just curve out and go. So to that end, I think we still want a couple of top end items, but we definitely want things that benefit us getting on the board early. I don't know that 2 melded Moxites is necessary here. I'm not super big on Hemosymbic Might. I like all of these. Maybe you don't need 3 Gene Pollinators, but we've got. Let's get this into creatures and non-creatures so we kind of have an idea. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 creatures. That's probably more than we need. I don't know that the Thawbringer is necessarily what we need to do here. Could probably cut a Tenderfoot because they're not so. They're pretty replacement level. I'd much rather have the Botanist. They're just better bodies. Although this is a nice mana sink, so maybe that's not something we'll care about. We have a lot of removal. Shattered Wings probably can go. I think we have enough here. Maybe if we keep running into problematic artifacts or enchantments, we can drop it back in. I've got sort of a mind to get rid of the Survey Mechan. Ultimately, with 1 mana, there are 4 mana 1/3 is not really what this deck is trying to do. It's much more wanting to curve out and beat down, and a 1/3 doesn't really beat down very well. And when we get to the point where we want to crack that for 7 mana, it would be nice, but I think we'd often want other options. Maybe we'll find that we want it as we play more, but now that we have so many 2-drops, I don't know that we need a Worm, the Sweeper, even though it is quite good with our Germinating Worm. I think we have other ways of taking advantage of that with the Scoutlander and the Kill Ship. I don't really want to over-index on those types of effects. For close encounters, we're not going to have a ton of cards in Warp, and the creatures that we have on the ground are going to be somewhat small. But I do think this is just very good in general. So that is kind of the tricky part of this whole deal. Molecular Modifier, if we're more of a beatdown deck, probably is quite good. Maybe we don't need a Thawbringer. No, I don't. Gosh, this is tricky. We probably have too many removals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 removal spells. That maybe is too many. Honestly, maybe we don't need the Kill Ship. It's a big top end threat, but we kind of have that already. We really don't care about getting to 7, and honestly, to that end, maybe we don't even care about Nebula Dragon. How often is this deck winning if it's getting to 7 mana? I don't know. I think maybe that's a cut. Just going low to the ground, lots of removal, beating down, that seems pretty good. And to that end, Sammy's Curiosity is no longer all that good. Gain 2 life, create a lander we'd much rather play an Edge Rover or a Gene Pollinator on 1, or even a Plasma Bolt to that effect. Maybe we cut one of those. And then this is looking like it could pretty easily be a 16 lander, so maybe we just cut the grav kill and make it really just a smooth kind of beat down and cut a forest. Go 8 and 8. I don't love that with how many forests we want to have on 2. Maybe we actually cut a mountain, go 9 and 7. I think I like that better. So, alright, here's the deck. It's just grill beats, so we'll see how it plays and keep at it. If we feel like we need a little bit more top end, we can add back in the Nebula Dragon, or we can add in that if we need more card draw or hard removal, which I don't expect we'll probably need, we can add in more of the big threats that we cut. But I think this is in a good spot. So yeah, when this is all over, I'd love it if you gave some feedback on the format, on the video, kind of what you thought, how you liked it. I'd love to hear what everybody thinks. And this is honestly not an amazing hand for what our deck wants to do with how many 1 and 2 drops we have, but it's 3 lands, 4 spells, a couple removal spells. I don't really think we can, in good conscience, give this up. And that will keep us alive, which is nice. Plasma Bolt online, so we can pop their 2-drop perhaps, assuming it's not too large. Oh, nope, they're just gonna blast us. Okay, well, that's fine, I suppose. Just got Lightning Bolt to the face. Okay, well, I want something to do on 2. I don't know that I necessarily want to get rid of this, but I think I can probably afford to get rid of one of the close encounters. And okay, I think I like this better anyway. So, all right, now we can go Galactic Wayfarer on 3, then maybe Molecular Modifier, and if we draw a red source, Plasma Bolt. Okay, now I really like this because we can go Galactic Wayfarer. And then next turn, we can go Larval Scoutlander, pop the lander, trigger Void, and if they play a 3 mana creature, that's not ideal, obviously. Okay, well then I think we are just more than happy to get this online and just keep ramping. Pop that. Get a mountain and a forest, I think, just because we have so many green sources, and just go ahead and keep passing along. We're nice and set up. I think they're missing lands, and we're on 6, so you hate to see an opponent missing lands, but ultimately, I don't really care that much about it. Alright, so now we can go. We can't Plasma Bolt anything. Maybe we just go Harmonious Grove Strider and Station Edge Rover and Station and get this online. And then no attacks. I don't want to trade with that when we can pretty easily Plasma Bolt it next turn by sacking the Moxite as well. And then if we do that, we can pretty easily. We can also Diplomatic Relations, we can Close Encounter, we can Molecular Modifier. There is a number of good plays we have. Our board is just way ahead right now. So, feeling pretty good in this spot. We've got our big threat has Ward 2, which when our opponent is missing land drops is going to be even harder to deal with. Because now they need to pay for a spell that is big enough to hit a 6/6 while also paying for Ward. Okay, Diplomatic Relations, that's fine. Okay, deal 3. Alright, now what is the play? I think we go... Ooh, this is interesting. I think we go Molecular Modifier plus Close Encounter. No. Oh wait. No. Plus Diplomatic Relations. Target. Okay, no priority. It's always a good thing to look out for. Give the Edge Rover first strike and beat down for 10. How do you like it? And now our hand is just kind of stacked too. We have ability to trigger ward with paying 3 mana if we want to just plasma bolt something. We can close encounter something with our Grove Strider. We've got Gene, our boy. Yeah, I mean, that's just not going to do it even in the slightest. So what we will do is pop the Melded Moxite, make a 2/2, trigger Void, Plasma Bolt. We have them dead in a bazillion ways here, and then we can just beat down. That was pretty smooth. Yeah, GG opponent. So that played out kind of like we expected, right? We didn't even have a lot of our low mana stuff, but we just have so much removal and a couple of big threats here and there that it's sort of inevitable that we're going to be able to stick creatures that are reasonably large because we're in Gruul, and then just leverage how good our removal is to be able to stay ahead. So hopefully we can start getting some faster starts so we can see how kind of the beatdown strategy works, or the ramp beatdown strategy, but overall I'm pretty pleased with that. And we have basically the same hand, which is fine. First hand went well. Opponent mulligans. You'll notice that I am a silver gamer right now, so it's worth recognizing that the ladder just reset today, so Mountain was not a good draw at all. So I think we'll still want to go Galactic Wayfarer on 2. Zookeeper Mechan's a very good common. Okay, Gene, you're about 2 turns too late. Galactic Wayfarer is good though, so we can go Wayfarer, make a lander, and then we have lots of stuff that we can do. I think we can go Modifier into Gene, our buddy Gene. I don't know what's on his back there. Alright, Red Tiger Mechan. I don't care about that. I'm much more happy to. Okay, interesting. I don't really know that I want to use Bombard just yet. I think I'd rather develop out the board. Go Mechan. Give this +1/+0 on first strike and start beating down, and then we can go Gene. And then next turn we have access to 6 mana, so we can kind of try to nuke their board, or we can play something nice that we draw. We've got a couple of options. Grove Strider would be nice. Okay, Momenon is okay. I think we'll be pretty happy to remove that. Okay, well, got Propulsion. Momenon showing that that's not especially useful. I think we go close. Let's see, is there a way? One thing that's always good to look out for is if there's a way that you can get a 2-for-1 out of a scenario. I don't think there is. That if we swung with Molecular Modifier, there's a chance that they would double block. But I don't think they probably will. We'll just move to combat. I'll give it to the Molecular Modifier, and then we'll just swing this way. And then, depending on what they do, okay, give them an opportunity to make a bad block. And then I think we're just going to. I think we close encounter. Isn't it? Okay, target this creature. Choose this creature. Deal 3. Okay, nice. One thing that's important to note is that this does not work on Death Touchers. Normally the Punch spell variant works well, but if you read Close Encounter, it is Close Encounter that's dealing damage equal to the power of the chosen creature. It is not the creature itself. So that is very good to remember as you're doing this. Okay, that is actually totally fine. It's a great cut propulsion target, so we'll just do that. Oops, I thought it was their end step. I would have done that differently had I considered that. But no matter. They're still going to deal us 3. That's fine. We don't really care. Clue 11. Okay, Germinating Worm is very nice. So we're just going to keep beating down. Give it to Gene. Spread the love. Swing for 4. First strike. Second strike. And then we'll just play a Germinating Worm. And this should be pretty good for stabilizing the board. We have Bombard, which works really well with our Molecular Modifier. If they play something really big, it looks like they will not. Now, this is a scenario where I think we can probably just kind of let them. We basically swing with everything, and then we'll give them the opportunity to make bad blocks. We have a germinating worm, which is basically a forced block, or I guess we could just keep banging in with the germinating worm. They're basically out of gas. 7 mana to activate this, so they can now activate it, but I don't know that they'll necessarily want to. Maybe what we do is we swing with the Wayfarer and the Worm. We let them try to double block the Worm. They might triple block it, but if they do that, we'll get every creature they have. Wayfarer will still bang in for 4. So I think we do that. We give first strike to the Wayfarer, and then we just swing in. And at any opportunity, you really want to look for ways that you can get more out of your cards. So in this instance, try to think of ways where, okay, how can I remove more than just one creature if I use a bombard? Is there a way that I can do this such that I save the most creatures? See, like, this is not a good block as it is, because they haven't put enough on it to where it dies if I remove one creature. So now I can cast this bombard for 3 mana, and now I'm going to get to just destroy their world. So a better block in that instance, if they were going to do that, is to also throw their Nanoform Sentinel on it, because the Nanoform Sentinel would then give them enough power to where they still lose everything, but if I do end up having a removal spell, then at least I only take out 2 things, and they still guarantee that they kill me, or they kill my guy. So, all right, 2-0. Feeling good so far. Just a nice little beatdown deck. I'd like to see like a turn 1 Edge Rover, turn 1 Gene, lots of those guys, but seems to be doing pretty good so far. Just got so much removal. Now this is a hand I don't think we can keep. This is why I will note that we went 9 and 7, just because we're much more likely to have green on. We're much more likely to want green than we are to want anything else. The opposite. I think this is just a keep and pitch the Wayfarer, and then we just look like we're mono green until we find a red source. Now we'd like to draw either a mountain or a mountain or a green creature or something like that. We're going to be able to get to that eventually. Okay, Blossoming Stinger, I'm not really that worried about. So here we can actually push some damage, which the molecular modifier, because we can just use the Tenderfoot to beat down. I'm really liking that we ended up picking this, even though at the time it didn't look like it was amazing in the deck that we were thinking about, just because in a lot of circumstances you want to look at 2 different things for your cards. You want to look at their floor and you want to look at their ceiling. Now, it's too bad that it just got by the Blooming Stinger, but at its floor, it is a 3 mana 2/2, and that's tough. But at its ceiling, it is a way to push a lot of damage and be a very aggressive deck. So here, I think we want to be patient. I don't think we want to trade off this Tenderfoot because it's looking like we're not going to be so fast in beating down. They look like they'll probably be able to stabilize here in a little bit, and so this Tenderfoot is going to be more useful, I think, as a way to continue to beef up with that activated ability than as a way to just remove a Stinger and then get Stonewalled by a 3/3. So here is an interesting spot. I think we just do this. They just missed a land drop, which is too bad for them, but good for us. We've got a lot of removal in hand. I think we use this opportunity to just be patient. We can pop this lander on our next turn if we get to that point. One thing to note when your opponent starts missing land drops is that means that their hand, like this is 5 spells in hand. So it's important to remember that they've got a lot of stuff coming. Okay, Automaton Torpedo is not scary whatsoever. We see no spacecraft on board. They're pretty far from 6 mana. Okay, now that they're doing nothing, now I think we can. I think we try to take out the Blooming Stinger with our Tenderfoot. They seem to have something. Diplomatic relations, maybe? This is maybe an opportunity where we should have perhaps taken the Wayfarer, because I think the Tenderfoot is a more valuable creature. Okay, and they just happen to have... okay, they've got something to save. And that's a good thing to do before we're attacking, before we're trying to do it. They save their creature. That's not ideal, obviously, but sometimes that just happens. Thawbringer, I think, is a pretty decent draw here. Enters or dies. We don't want that. And now we just stay patient. We could maybe swing in with the Galactic Wayfarer, just because cleaning up the board, I think, is decent for us. And that's fine. And we'll move on. Can still pop this lander. We can take out the Blooming Stinger. This time, perhaps we'll do it with our less valuable creature for the instance that I just brought up, where if they had a removal spell for the Tenderfoot, then we'd be losing our most valuable creature on board, and we also wouldn't get to remove the thing that we wanted to remove. So, something to keep in mind. Oof. Okay, that's a Sibsig Hound, and they're warping it in, which is interesting. So I think they're probably hunting for lands. But they definitely think they have time. If they play a land, that means they probably saw 2. Nope, they did not see 2. They just took a spell instead. Okay, and I think we can use... this is tricky. I think we can use this opportunity to get rid of it. Because then we're going to be able to swing in and push more damage here and get them on the back foot. So here, I think we just play out our land, we just pump, and start asserting ourselves. This is kind of what the deck is trying to do. The game's already gone a little bit long for what we want to do, so I think we just gotta start banging in and getting stuff done. So hoping for some good draws here. We've got, let's see, 7 lands out, so we have 10 lands left in our 27 land deck. So we've got a little over probably a 65-ish% chance to draw spells. Seeing that Codecracker Hound is perfectly fine for us. We don't really care about a 2/1. It does block our Thawbringer, which is a real downside of the Thawbringer. That is an awesome draw, though. So let's see, we're at 7 mana, so that means we can swing in with our Tenderfoot. It's always good to note when they have priority. Arena just told us that they have something that they can do at instant speed. You can look on board and see that they have a land drop that they can crack, or a lander token that they can crack at any time. And we're more than happy to let them do that. And we wait to see what they do. Might have multiple things if they're trying to use the Gene Pollinator for mana. They're not, that's fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually hold on to this lander until we can activate it at instant speed. Wait. Oh, I'm foolish. We don't have enough mana for that. So we're just going to play this. I don't know what I'm talking about. So now we have we have 2 lethal threats on board if we are looking to use them, or if they don't take out anything. Looks like they're eyeing up the Torpedo, so 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So they actually cannot kill this Grove Strider. They just basically use their entire turn for that. Now we can do something kind of fun, which is we can actually swing out here because we drew that land, and we can not play a land. We're not gonna crack the lander because they're gonna get so greedy and not realize that we can crack this lander and pump this to 8/8 and get them. So that was a force block that we saw on board. What we could do, getting out of silver. That's good. Making our way into the legitimate ranks. So yeah, it's been a really straightforward deck so far. Sometimes when you're unsure of exactly the direction that your deck is taking you, it's good to orient yourself towards a mode where you are playing a lot of onboard presence, running as many removal spells as you can. I mean, we kept taking them in the draft because you don't want a scenario where you're just left with nothing good going on. This is a great hand. We could use some top end help, but turn 1 Gene is awesome. Drawing a Bombard, that's a good draw. And now we can do a bunch of stuff. Probably can't play, unfortunately we can't, it's not like a Llanowar Elf, so we can't just use the Terrabotanist. Virus Beetle, what a joke. I think we get rid of the, oh, this is interesting actually. I think we get rid of the, this is interesting. You can make an argument for getting rid of Mountain here with our Gene Pollinator. That seems pretty greedy though. Maybe we just get rid of Plasma Bolt. I don't really care to use it on the Virus Beetle. Yeah, I think that might bite us in the butt, but I think that's okay. Okay, so here we'll go this, swing in with Gene, our guy Gene. Now I think we just go Terrabotanist. We don't have any artifacts on the horizon. Maybe it was correct to get rid of the Pangolin instead of the Plasma Bolt. 1-mana spells are just very good. Trajectory. Well, now we're probably going to get punished. But we're not getting punished for... Ooh, this is interesting. I think we go and we be mana efficient here, which means we play out the Thawbringer. So I think we just attack. No need to play the land until after. Gain life. Play the Thawbringer. Surveil. Do we want Mountain? I don't think we want Mountain. I think we want Forest. Yet we can play everything in our hand right now without that. And ultimately, we are just trying to turn our stuff sideways. Ugh! Good lord. Okay, so that's tough for us. But luckily that did take their whole turn. We've got a lot of discard in this, so they're doing the thing. Just playing a small resource game. Okay, so here we're gonna play the Terrabotanist first. Good, make sure to sequence correctly here, so we can get the extra life. And then beat down. We're not gonna chump with the Virus Beetle, which I think is correct. And then we'll just play it out. They know it's here, so all right, we've vomited out our hand, opponent. If you play a 5-drop, you'll probably crush us. Okay, that's not really that impactful of a play. I mean, we're going to be able to beat down again. That's very greedy, I think. We're just going to go to town here, and we have a lot of threats on board. Our Thawbringer is lethal if they only play one creature out. A removal spell is lethal. So I am very dubious of this. I think they definitely have some sort of removal spell, but I don't know what black has at flash speed for a creature, so I think we just go to town. Melded Moxite is kind of a good draw, actually, if we are okay waiting a turn. Yeah, looks like grab kill. Okay, that's fine. They have to jump. That is forced. Okay, down to 1. I'm really wishing I hadn't binned that Plasma Bolt, but, you know, what can you do? Depressurize. All right, do you have another creature on board? Nope, and they're dead. So now we can do this. I don't even know why we're doing this. Yeah, okay. It's good to play it out, but they didn't have any words against it. Just call it good. All right, 4-0. This is awesome. Gruul beats. Sometimes the thing to do is just hit the easy button. All right, 4 wins. I don't think we're missing the 4-mana 1/3 at this point. We're definitely not missing the Nebula Dragon. When the games go that long, it's just not likely that we're going to win. So I think the better idea is to just say, all right, what's the main game plan? If something goes wrong, sometimes the reality is when you're playing a beatdown deck, if the game goes long, you're just not going to win. That's okay. Diluting the deck for an outcome that is already bad for you is, I don't think, a recipe for great success. So in those instances, I think sticking to the plan of what the deck wants to do rather than what may happen if things go awry is often the strategy that you'll want to employ when you're deck building. So just a little piece of advice, I suppose. Perhaps you know what? You're on my channel. A little unsolicited advice never hurt anyone. This is an awesome keep. You can go turn 1 Gene Pollinator, turn 2 Humidian Terrabotanist, plus Gene Pollinator, and just go to the races. So we love it. We love our friend Gene. This also is a good reason why we built. It's good to notice the points where you decide to build your deck a certain way. Let's see. Let's go. Is there any way I can play? No, I can't play this. There's no way I can play this without. Doesn't matter what I do here. I'll just go here and here. Okay. Boom. For creatures on turn 2. Your move, OP. Now, what would be sad? Oh, I don't care about this at all. I'm gonna take him to Slam Town this turn. So they just lightning bolted me to the face. Ooh, interestingly, I think I want to play the Pangolin first, because then when we have these Wayfarers, we can start beefing up the Pangolin. And now we can start pressing damage, and then next turn, if they play something that stabilizes the board a little bit more, we're more happy to tap or use Gene as our... Okay, so there we've got a 2/3. So now I think we go Galactic Wayfarer, make a lander, trigger, and we will float a green, tapping Gene. And now we can swing in. Probably didn't need to swing with the Terrabotanist in hindsight. That was a little bit loosey-goosey. My bad. But now, I mean, we just have such a wide board here. But now we have more ways to add to the board next turn. We can do that same little trick with the Oreplate Pangolin and a Galactic Wayfarer. That's why that was kind of a nice synergy that we could find. Okay, so now the question is, how much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So that's perfect. So what we're going to want to do is start by playing the Humidian Terrabotanist. Then we play our land. Then we will float a black to spook them, tap down our Summoning Sick Terrabotanist, play Galactic Wayfarer, make a lander, trigger the Oreplate Pangolin. We will float a white this time, getting cute with it. Oh, we could have done that on the first one. Oh, okay, well, live and learn. This attack is a little bit aggressive, but I think I'm okay getting rid of their War Rager. Or honestly, I'm probably more okay getting rid of their Mechan, just in the interest of pushing damage. If they choose to double lock, I don't know what the correct one is. I think it may actually be the Mechan here. They're not likely to be in a position where they have 2 or more tapped creatures, and if they're deciding to attack, I honestly don't really care, because it means that they're going to be way open. So I think getting rid of the mana source is actually better here. And now, I mean, our board is just crazy, right? Like, we're so wide, we can basically swing out next turn if they don't play something obscenely big. That's pretty big. So now we're really just hoping for drawing something good, and I think here we just swing out, and then we'll be able to kill something with close encounter. We'll trade away one of our creatures with the Caveron Sky Warden, and then we'll just deal a bunch of damage. They're thinking, I think these are the right blocks to make if I were in their position. I don't think I would do anything else. Oh, interesting. Yeah, eat a pollinator for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is actually quite aggressive. I don't know that I like this. I will target this with you. now I have 4 lethal threats on board. 4 lethal threats on board. So they need a lot here. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. But that's the strength of... another thing to remember in general with all of these is just the strength of 1 mana cards, right? If you have, especially mana accelerants, if you have stuff early in your curve, and you can just get on board faster, you are able to punish your opponent for playing greedier decks or for stumbling. Our opponent didn't even really stumble, but they did take turn 2 off, right? They basically took turn 2 off to lightning strike us to the face with their red haster, which at the time I don't even think was that unreasonable, especially if it's the best thing to do with their mana at the time. But it did mean that they did not have board presence, and so in those moments, it's important to know when can I push the aggression and just get going. So, okay, this is a perfectly fine hand. We've got removal, and actually, this is pretty good for an aggressive deck like us. Like, if you think of throwing this on the Thawbringer, now we have a 4/4 that can only be blocked by 1 creature. That's pretty good. So, Gene. All right, we have a mirror match. More drill beats. We'll play out of Forest, and we're a little behind because they had a turn 1 Gene. Gene's the most powerful card in Magic. Pangolin. All right, kind of a mirror match. We'll go here and Terra Botanist. And let's see if they have a Galactic Wayfarer. Wouldn't that be something? No. Okay, but it is an artifact still, and they can tap it for some mana for the Pangolin. I think that's totally good. We say no blocks. I think we're happy to just race them. So we're going to go. I think it's possible that Thawbringer is better here. We'll go gain the life. This is another place where that Terra Botanist is great because we're not really going to be blocking here. So I think we go Thawbringer and just plan on blocking the Pangolin in case they buff it up, and then we also get some ETB surveil action to try to find a land. Okay, Bombard might be too good to get rid of. Bombard's very good on this board. I don't know that we have enough removal, so maybe that was greedy, but we also have a lot of green going on, and I think keeping in mind that, yeah, I don't know, that might have been greedy. I'm not 100% sure what the right move is there. If we pitch that and we pick up our Grove Strider, then we're obviously pretty sad, but we were going to draw to that anyway, so we'll see. Maybe we can see what they do here. If we get blown out or something, the Thawbringer dies and we're way behind, we need just more board presence. Perhaps then we pitch the Bombard. Ooh, Tanuk is interesting. And they want 1 red mana for a Plasma Bolt. That is very good. I think we'll still take it to pop the Tanuk, though. We don't really want them getting any card draw. Although they're not really in a position to trigger that multiple times. It is just going to be a drain on our life source. So maybe can we stabilize the board briefly by going with Galactic Wayfarer? And then next turn, try to clean up the board. I think that is what I want to do. We'll stay back. Then we can block 2 of these with the Terra Botanist or play Pangolin. We might have to take a little damage if they play an artifact, but they seem to they've got 3 spells in hand too, so we'll see. We're definitely on the back foot a little bit. And that's the power, again, of the turn 1 mana accelerant, right? They were able to pay for the Pangolin when they were able to play the turn 3 Caveron Turbo Drone. So, low curve is always good. It's always good to be able to use all of your mana every single turn. Giving Tanuk. This seems very greedy to me. I think I'm just going to double block and play into whatever trick they have and get it out of their hand. Because this is either a terrible attack or... Oh no, and they blew us out of the water. Wow, okay. That was very bad for us. No real way around that. Okay, so here, what can we do? What can we do? I think we play... Oof, I think we're just going to have to play our guy Gene. And then we're going to take a little bit of damage next turn, but I think we just hold up Bombard, and honestly, maybe we just pop Tunic now while they have its 2 spells in hand. Honestly, I think they probably could have swung out there. I think they maybe missed out on some value by doing that, because I wasn't going to be able to really trade with anything, and anything I did try to trade with is going to die. The trouble with, if I'm going to, the reason I'm waiting here, normally I would like to do this on their turn. The trouble with doing that would be, if they play a land, I just take 1 unnecessary damage from Tunic. And that damage is going to add up over time. But perhaps what I need to do is just pop the... I already can't really block the Pangolin. Yeah, I'm just going to take out Tunic. Attempt to, at least. If they have another combat trick, so be it. Yeah, you can't beat everything. Alright, we're going to take a little damage. We're going to take at minimum 5 damage here. So, that's tough. But I think in this instance, we gotta play to where our outs are. Our outs are drawing a land. Cobb Landseeker is not what we wanted to see. A menace threat is pretty brutal for us here. They get to make a lander token, tap down the lander token. Wow, this is a really good turn. Give that to the Pangolin, and then give the Landseeker haste. Woof. Okay, I think we just have to take all 9, though. What I would like to see is a land off the top. That's very good, because now we can go here. Germinating Worm, gain 2 life, and then Melt Strider's Resolve, this. Yeah, obviously I want to pay the... It makes sense, but I guess I don't want to tap down the Germinating Worm. I'll fight the Landseeker. And I don't think we're dead. We're not dead on board, at least. If they play something huge, then, that's not great. But we block the Pangolin. We could take 3, go to them popping the landers. Huge news for us. That is truly very, very good. And now we can... Okay. All right, this is very good. So now we can Larval Scout Lander. Why do they have priority here? Is it just Gene? Might just be Gene. Okay, so this is still a tough spot. Scoutlander isn't an awesome draw, but it does let us make use of the Lander token. And we'll grab a mountain and a forest. And don't think we attack. That seems very greedy. I wonder what they have in hand for 2 mana. Attacks. Could be the card where you deal damage. The card that we have that cut propulsion. Tapestry Warden. Okay, that's not so bad. Artifact Creature is tough. We let them pay the mana though. I think we are going to want to take out this Pangolin on this turn. So if they use mana here, that is very good for us. What do they have? 1 green mana, so 2. This costs 2 mana, whatever they're thinking about. Okay, now we just do it. Target the Pangolin and using the Germinating Worm. This is very big for us. That was huge. Absolutely huge. Oh man, was that huge. Okay, that's a very good draw, obviously. Just because we don't have that many. They don't have that many good draws here. We are pretty sure they don't have a removal spell. So I think we pump a little bit of power into the Scoutlander and we just move on. We'll thin out our deck a little bit here after this. I don't know what they have. It smells to me kind of like a combat trick, but alright, that is obviously good. Oh, and they have the gene pollinator to even help do it. That is very powerful. That's very powerful because they can tap down one of them with the gene pollinator, and then they can give the Vault Guard Trooper haste if they want with the Turbo Drone. Huh. I think I would have tried to get this germinating worm off the battlefield, but I mean that was obviously extremely good. So now they can trigger the Trooper, and this is an avoid trigger. Okay, that would have been bad. It doesn't really matter. More forests are fine. Alright, a couple good draws here. Grove Strider would be a good draw. Gene is not an especially good draw. Let's just pump a little bit of power into the Scoutlander, and then we pass. If they want to swing with this, we're jumping anyway. Gosh, that was such a big turn for them. 6/6 is really bad for. Wait, that's a horrible attack. I mean, if they have a combat trick, they were going to get us anyway. Yeah, they were already going to get us. So that changed functionally nothing. And now we're just way behind, and let's see. I don't think there's really any way around that. They ran a lot of combat tricks in that deck. Not really, I guess. Just 2. Okay. GG opponent. Tough loss, but that's kind of the same thing, right? We're on the draw. Game went a little longer than maybe we wanted it to. The Scoutlander isn't maybe exactly what this deck wants. We make it a lot of landers, so to that sense, that was maybe going to end up being our out in that game, where we eventually stabilized the board long enough to where we could pump some power in toughness into, or we could pump some power into the Scoutlander, and then eventually start going after him in the air. Flying wins games. It's kind of cliche, but it is true. But ultimately, they curved out. They had a good deck, had some removal. Happens. Okay, this is a nice hand. Turn 1 Plasma Bolt if we have early Plasma Bolt if we want it. Now they know we have it, so that's a little tough because we just showed them that we have priority. Land is a very nice draw there. We'll go with the Terrabotanist first because we do have an artifact for the Pangolin. So, oh, this is nice because now we can go Pangolin and Plasma Bolt to use our mana well, and now eventually we can use the Moxite later to pay for the Pangolin trigger. So land would be a nice draw here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, land is a good draw. So now we'll go there. We'll cast a Galactic Wayfarer, make a lander, trigger Pangolin, auto pay, make it a 3/3 pass. And now if we draw a land with I think we first play Melded Moxite to try to get another counter on the Pangolin. Oh, okay, they're going to put it on top. I don't think we want to draw the Pangolin again. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. Larval Scoutlander feels like a good draw. I think we do that. Would have been nice to have a Pangolin on board now, but yeah, I think we just do this and sack the lander. And we grab 2 forests. Gain 2 life. And then let's just get this ready to go for next turn. Now next turn we can play our Thawbringer, get the Scoutlander, rip rare and to go. And I don't really care about that. So 1/3 in the air. Now I kind of care about it. It's not its counter. Well, that's especially good place to put the counter. Ooh, that's kind of a fun synergy. Doesn't matter, it seems, but okay. Let's start by using the Moxite and getting rid of this land. Now play the Thawbringer. Got another pangolin coming. Wayfarer's fine. Pump that. Now we bang away. Botanist gets you just blocked here. That's, yeah, okay. Swing away. There we go. Nice. Now I think we maybe save that for a pangolin trigger. Although it does just block the Menin. So I think we save it for a pangolin trigger. We're the aggressor right now. Yeah, they're just gonna be playing pangolins. I don't really necessarily care all that much. Although now they can block our Scoutlander, which is tough. And that's 4. Oof. Okay, that was a really good turn for them. Damn. An extremely good turn for them. So now they can swing with both of these and untap Momentum again. The flying 6/3 too. Jeez. Oh my gosh, that was an obscene turn for them. Okay, anything else you'd like to do? Okay, so we play Pangolin. Then instead we think we go Wayfarer here. Okay. Oof, now we're just getting beat down in the air, but I don't want to trade the Thawbringer for this. That would suck. We can attack there though, because I'm okay trading with both of these. Okay, it's a little greedy, I think, but maybe defensible. Them drawing land would be very nice. Oh my gosh, that's an insanely good draw. Okay, sometimes this happens. You just, sometimes your opponent draws well, and that'll can be a little tilting. Bombard is an awesome draw, though. So now, I think we swing out with the Galactic Wayfarers. That's crazy to me that they're not blocking. Okay, so now we want to play to, well, we don't have Plasma Bolt anymore, so that is tough. So we want to try to consider what wins us the game here. I think what wins us the game is them overextending and leaving us in a spot where we can get them. So to that end, I think I'm okay holding off on this Bombard, welcoming a little bit more damage, and then popping their last creature as they swing. It seems nice to take out their biggest threat, which is of course that gunship. One land off the top would be just a sweet draw for them. Yeah, see, this is a very aggressive attack, and I think I will just take all of it. And then, yep, gonna take all of it. That's fine. Okay. That's how much damage is that total? Okay. So right now, this is a pretty bad attack for them, I think. So they leave 3 behind, possibly 1 more. So I can just go here. They can only kill 1 if they try to blow me out. I let them and I take out the Pangolin and swing for lethal. I think that's fine. Okay. Plasma. Okay, artifact entering. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, and what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to activate the Moxite. So let us go a little wider. And then thin out the deck. Okay, so now if they have something, we're gonna be toast, but that's already true. Okay, so now I think we go bombard their pangolin. Actually, I think. Okay, let's think of this. We just need to get rid of one thing. If they have an instant speed way to make an artifact, they could pump the pangolin to a 5/5 and blow us out. If we get rid of the Mecha Navigator, then we already have 2 threats getting through for lethal. So I think we just take this out. We force them to act. And then we swing out. Alright. There we go. Whew! Okay, that was very stressful. We really needed them to stop drawing spells, and they did, so that was huge. But it's a good indicator of trying to point out how you're going to win the game. They have all of the pressure on board with all of their flyers, and so if we take out their flyer on our turn just because it looks tasty, all we do is rob ourselves of the ability to let them overextend. So then we can, look at what we have on board and play into just killing them when we maybe shouldn't have been able to. So, all right, hand's great. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 30. Gene, our guy, on board. And okay, so they have something they could do. You gonna take out my pollinator? You're welcome to. It's yours for the taking. Yeah, I mean, all day. That's fine. Alright. So we're playing blue-black control. That is not a very good matchup for us, admittedly. Is this warped in? Yeah, it looks like it. Pretty greedy warp, if you ask me. But let's see, we want this, and I think we just want maximum pressure on board. So let's start by swinging there, and let's go with the Thawbringer to get a Surveil as well. Don't think we want an Edge Rover. I think we'd rather have mana, because it'd be nice to be able to go a Wayfarer into Pollinator next turn. Codecracker Hound is not ideal. Maybe a mark against playing the Thawbringer. Germinating Worm is not very useful. However, it's not so bad if we go... I don't think we want 2 genes. So I think maybe we go Melded Moxite, pitch a gene, then here and gene, and no, I don't think this is a good exchange. This can get bigger. Okay, so in this instance, I think what we're looking to do at some point is we can gain a little bit of life. If we have mana available, we can use Gene then to tap it for mana while it's on board. Ugh, that's terrible. Good thing we can kill it. That's horrific. So here we're going to go Galactic Wayfarer. Into Close Encounter with the Thawbringer. Because we do not want him to get any additional 2/2s. That is so good on this board. And then I think we just pass still, unfortunately. This is kind of the scenario that we wanted to avoid, right? Where we just have, we just stopped up by a 2-mana or a 2-power creature. It is, I will say, that is a not especially good. Oh, sack Gene, you've done your business here. Take out the. Now here's a scenario where more galactic, just every single galactic wayfarer. Okay. 5/5 is very good on this board, which makes me think what I want to do is I kind of feels greedy, but I think I just want to. No, it's not very mana efficient at all. It's probably best to just swing with the Wayfarer. What is this when it gets going? 4/3? That's not so bad. I think we're just going to swing with the Wayfarer. And then maybe just play another Wayfarer and hold up this. Continue to go wide. Maybe playing the worm is just good there, but they have a lot of mana. I don't want to just get killed immediately. I'd much rather than waste a removal spell on one of the 3/3s than I would on a creature that'll be more likely to help us end the game. We're going very wide right now, which is not something that their deck is very well equipped to deal with. The Dirge Craft is, I mean, if they want to keep, I don't care if this isn't doing anything. It's much it's better spent there than anywhere else. Okay, that's a very suspicious turn. So I'm just gonna sack the lander on end step. Gonna kill something? Yeah, that's fine. See, that's the perfect scenario here. Alright, now here is a turn. Let's see, we have 4. Still think I'm wary of a better removal spell for them, so I still think I actually want to pump this once, make it a 3/3, and then we can swing with both of these. Trying to be patient here. One of the things that gets me into trouble when I play Magic is when I get, yeah, I mean that's what we wanted to see, right? That's why we held off on the Germinating Worm. Because what we did not want to do is play right into a big removal spell like that. Now when we get this, it'll actually have some impact on board. Now we're a little bit weak to a Virus Beetle here, admittedly, but now they're going to start spitting out their hand, and that is not good, because that's just a Phyrexian Arena, so we need to now start putting the pressure on. That's still pretty far from doing anything substantive, though. Now, the nice thing is we still do have very good attacks with our Wayfarer. I don't want to just get rid of this Codecracker Hound, but we can do that. They could double block if they want to, but I actually don't care if it gets one of them off the battlefield. That's okay, honestly. Kill that, and then we can... Maybe we could have swung with the Thawbringer to push through more damage, in hindsight. Now we go here, slam a 5/5, going to play a land, and then we can hold up Moxite and hope they don't have a removal spell for the worm, because if they don't, we're going to be in really good shape. If they activate this Requiem Monolith, that's a really good sign. Well, it's not really necessarily a good sign at all, actually. It's a very bad sign, because they're just drawing extra cards every turn. But, you know, at this stage, what can we do? They have to lose a life to do it. That is totally fine, though. I don't really care about seeing that at all. That's bad, though, of course. So they can station this up. 6/7? Ugh! Oh my god! That is so bad! Woof. Woof, woof, woof. Okay, that is very bad, of course. They are pretty far ahead at this point. And now they can just station this up and start to go to Slam Town. So that's not ideal. I think they would be incorrect to swing here, though. Yeah, okay. Activate that. Make a 2/2. Oh, Bombard is a terrific draw. Oh my gosh, that was a good draw. Now we put them dead on board to any of our creatures. And I'm actually kind of interested in playing the Thawbringer rather than the worm, just for the surveil value. Get that out of here. Because if we can draw a removal spell, we are in amazing shape. They can't really activate this and... Oh, are you kidding me? Come on. Okay, I guess. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Okay, so they just had everything. That's tough. There's nothing we could really do about that. That's an insane draw from our opponent. That's fine. Go ahead. Station up. Oh, man. That's so greedy, too. Alright. Well, that's the thing with blue-black control, right? It's a tough matchup for us because they can do this. They're just going to win the late game if they... I actually think I wait to... Oh, nice. Oh, our Grove's Strider, no! Okay. That's insanely greedy. Do you have our Plasma Bolt? Yep, it's in there. So they're dead to a Plasma Bolt now. I guess they were already dead to Plasma Bolt. Okay, let's spew out our hand now. Here, do they just have lethal on board? They don't. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Okay, so they swing out. I block. Now let's leave that on top, actually. Do we just hunt for Plasma Bolt? They gain life, then there's... How many cards do we have in deck? 13 cards in deck. We have a lot of removal spells, too. Okay, we'll leave it on top. We are probably going to have to jump anyway with the Thawbringer. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm just dead. Alright, well, that was a lot of thinking for nothing. Oh, our Plasma Bolt! Good game. Zaxxy's even with the worm. Alright. That's tough. That is very tough. Okay, 6 and 2. You're now... Wait, was that 6 and 3? 6 and 2. Alright, playing for the trophy. Alright, put your predictions in the chat. Not chat. Comments. If you're a believer, a non-believer, this is for the trophy. I've liked the way the deck is played out. I mean, I think we've won the games that we would... we've lost the games that we probably should expect to lose. I don't think this is a trophy deck necessarily. I mean, it's pretty finely tuned to do what it wants to do, and when given the opportunity, we'll do it. Definitely has a lot of removal. Feels like a 5-6 win deck, so if we draw well, get a 7th, that seems awesome to me. Going first, Magic's great, need a land, but this is a good hand. We really need a land off the top, though. Okay, Plasma Bolt. Oh gosh, we're so good at Magic. We are the best Magic players to ever live, possibly ever. All right, now we noted the priority that they got with that mountain, so we're not going to play right into it with the Thawbringer. We are instead going to play into it with our Galactic Wayfarer, so that they at least have to trigger Void in order to kill it. And if they can do that, by all means, go ahead. There we go. All right, Wayfarer on board. We're just gonna have an army of 3/3s, and then Bombard in the back pocket to beef up or to kill the Pangolin. So it would be really nice if they played like, a meaningless creature that they could beef up the Pangolin with. We're never blocking here. Oh, this is actually really nice. We can go... What is that better on? I think we go here. We play Thawbringer. And then while they're tapped out, I don't want that. We enchant this, fight the Pangolin. A lot of Pangolins today. And now we have mitigated the thing that this is the worst at, which is dying to a 2-mana creature, or a 2/2. Okay, that was greedy. Greedy to swing with the Terrabot in this probably, but they're not going to do anything about it. So we've got some options here. We can play to the board if needed. That Thawbringer is gonna beat down hard if they play a 4 toughness creature, which I don't know how many 5. I guess they have 5 mana, so they could very easily play something that's pretty big. But I think most things that they play, if they tap out, can be bombarded. So I will be more than willing to do that if they do. And if they tap out to do it, they're gonna take a lot of damage. I mean, this is 4, 7, 9 damage. Ragast. I just don't care about that at all. Yeah, Surveil 1. Tenderfoot. I think we can do better than Tenderfoot. That is much better, for instance. Swing out, put him to 9. Now we've got gas in hand. Bombard is good. That seems really... I don't think this is splash worthy. Okay, the Cavarone Turbo Drone. I guess if that's all you can do. But if this is all they have, I am not concerned about our chances of winning this game. Alright, now remember, what did we say before? Give opponents the ability to play poorly. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to combat. We're going to let them make a bunch of blocks. I think we do it on the modifier. Maybe the botanist. Oh, what do I care more? I care less about the botanist, I think. Put it here. They have 1 mana up. And we give them lots of opportunities to double block to their heart's content. And they're not going to do that at all. Which I'm perfectly happy with. Oh, they're just going to sack it to deal damage. That's very greedy. Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy with that. And now we just have a ton of lethality on board. We have to worry a little bit about whatever they're going to play here. They still only have 5 mana, so I'm guessing it's going to be some combination of this plus a 2-drop. And Tiger Mech, and I don't care about at all. Nova Hellkite, that I care about. Wow, alright. Ain't that something. Now they've opened up some good attacks. I think they're dead now, but... Yeah, I think they're just fully dead now. Right? Bombard plus trigger just kills them. Bombard the Turbo Drone. Good game. Take him to Slamtown. Take him to Slamtown. Let's go. All right, that's huge. Well, that was exciting. Glad to log a trophy with my first ever vid. Um, yeah, let's walk through the deck a little bit. That was quite a performance. I'm very excited about that. Overall, I mean, it's like we said all along, right? It's a deck that knows what it wants to do. It's got a lot of creatures. It's got a lot of removal, and it just wants to beat down. I mean, the Galactic Wayfarers, every one of them was awesome. This being a 3/3, I think is quite frankly overstated. I think this could just as easily be a 2/3. Molecular Modifier was awesome whenever it came down. I just think this is a great creature. 2/3 is perfectly acceptable for 2 mana on its own. And then the upside of gaining life so that we can kind of swing with Reckless Abandon and continue to leverage the fact that we have good instant speed removal with Diplomatic Relations. Cut Propulsion was good. Bombard was very good. Close Encounter was very good, especially because we had such onboard presence early. Thawbringer was maybe the one that was not as exciting. It just got blocked by a lot of 2/2s, a lot of 2/1s, so that didn't feel very good. From the sideboard, I don't know that there's anything we really should have played. You could have maybe made an argument for the Hemosymbic Might being good just because it's a 1 mana play. Nebula Dragon, I think we were correct not to play just because it's too much mana. We're not accomplishing anything. It would have given us one more out in that game against Blue Black Control. But overall, really nice performance. We'll take our bunch of gems and 6 packs and say sayonara. Thanks everyone for watching. Got any feedback? I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I look forward to see you next time. Peace.